welcome to Bread of Life. Our speaker for this week is Pastor Bill Huegel of Wallingford.
Have you ever gone through a heartache, grief, or a tragedy and found yourself worshiping? Hi, this is Bill Huegel, and I'm not surprised if you say no. When we go through the really hard times of life, our natural response is to weep and wonder why these things happen. And so we question, why did this have to happen now? How could this have been avoided? We might even get angry at life and at specific situations. If someone died in the hospital, we might get angry at the doctors and the staff. We might get angry at family members. Why didn't you take Mom to the hospital sooner, we might ask. We might get angry at God. Why, God? Why did you let it happen? When tragedy struck his life, Job, in that wonderful book of the Bible that bears his name, did something quite different. He worshipped. Listen to this text in Job 1. This is what he said immediately after getting the news that all of his animals were killed, which was his source of livelihood, and worse yet, all 10 of his children were killed. Listen. At this, Job got up and tore his robes and shaved his head, and he fell to the ground in worship and said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all of this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. I understand the depths of the hurt, the pain, the frustration, yes, even the anger when death, sickness, and tragedy strikes. But so many people get trapped in that pain. They get angry at God and lash out at Him and reject even the possibility of believing in a good God who allows such evil to happen. You may know someone like that. But there's a healthier way. It's found in the book of Job. First of all, notice from this text that Job did not deny his pain at all. He tore his robe. He ripped his clothing. He felt terribly torn inside. Everything had been ripped away from him, his livelihood, the children that he prayed for and sacrificed for often. It had all been tragically torn away. He expressed his feelings of being torn by tearing his own clothing. He shaved his head. We value our hair. Oh, I know a few of us shave our heads. I have a dear friend who does that, and I have to admit he looks good. But most of us like our hair. We cut it and shape it and color it and curl it and brush it and comb it in just such a way so as to express our personality. We think it's how we look the best. When someone goes through chemotherapy, they often lose their hair, and it's a source of embarrassment to them, a kind of humiliation. In humility, Job shaved his head, and he fell to the ground in worship. I think we are to understand that he crumbled to his knees in the dust. He did not stand before God, nor sit in God's presence in the midst of his suffering and humiliation. He fell to the ground, to the dust in worship. Job did not deny the depths of his pain and his hurt. He had questions which he asked later, but his initial response was to crumble before God and to worship. And in his worship, he recognized that everything that he had was a gift of God. Naked I came from my mother's womb, naked I'll depart. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. He recognized that everything that he had was a sheer gift of God. His strength, his health, his mind, everything that he possessed was a gift from the Lord. Without the Lord's blessing, he would not have owned all these things that he possessed. Without God's blessing, he would not have had 10 precious children. So he worshipped, and he said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." It was because of Job's faith in God who loved him that he got through it all. And I invite you to put your faith in the God who loves you, who loves you so much that he sent Jesus Christ, his only Son, and that if you turn to the Lord and place your faith in him, he will come into your life and he will help you no matter what you are going through. I invite you to a life of worship. Go to church tomorrow and begin your journey of worship if you haven't already. You'll be so glad you did.
You've been listening to Pastor Bill Huegel of Wallingford, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.